Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, welcome to another edition of our weekly Peace Talk Show. This is a show that is brought to you to discuss on issues surrounding our national peace and security. And today also Friday, we are here live online on Fado Network, Kairawa Avenue. We are saying welcome again, and today also we have a great and a very smart person here with us to discuss on a very important topic regarding the development and the well-being of this country. Mr. President, welcome to the Peace Talk Show.
Thank you so much, Honorable Jallo.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to share this moment with you.
Thank you very much. And who are you?
Well, I've always been told that that is a very difficult question to respond to. But basically, I'm just Usman Jassi, President, University of the Gambia Students Union.
Thank you very much. He is His Excellency Usman Jassi, the President of the University Students Association or University Student Union. To be frank enough, today we are very glad to host a very great personality, and we have a very important topic to discuss here today, which is the role of university students in ensuring sustainable peace. This is a topic that can be explored looking at the reasons or the rationale behind the establishment of the University of the Gambia. Among the many reasons are that university students have to contribute to the development of this country, socio-economic developments, trying to embark on researches which of their recommendations will help to improve the country. So having the president of the Students' Union, which is one of the most powerful bodies at the university, I think it is indeed a great pleasure to have him here today. So Mr. President, briefly and going straight to the point, who is a university student?
Well, in my own understanding and in my own opinion, I think that a university student is a student who is enrolled at the university and acquiring knowledge in a particular field of studies.
Good. And what is the contribution of a university student, or what should be the contribution of a university student in a society?
The contribution of a university student in a society is as significant as it is empirical. You would have realized that very recently, when you look at all the significant changes that have taken place in the world, it has either been led by university students or it has been inspired by university students. So that indeed university students are an emblem, an epitome of inspiration, an epitome of leadership, an epitome that inspires the community in positive ways and in a lot of ways that are significant to the development of the country. First, we must acknowledge and appreciate that the university is an intellectual hub of every country. The university is a place where societal issues are identified, where issues are diagnosed, where problems are identified, solutions are proffered, and the manner in which solutions are also proffered, coupled with their implementations, are also designed so that they are able to respond to the emerging socio-economic and political problems that we might be facing in any country that we happen to find ourselves in. So basically, any country that so wishes to move on the agenda that promotes common development, collective security, peace building, and any other thing that is in relation to living up to the expectation of your people, you must embrace university as an intellectual hub that provides solution to problems that you are facing in your country, to policies that you want to make in your country, how you implement these policies. Are there any partnerships and collaborations that are necessary? Those are functions of the university in a more idealistic society. That's how universities are appreciated in context. So basically,
Thank you very much. He is also called the Gambian Lumumba, and there is no doubt that you will hear enough wisdom today. We apologize for not showing up somebody who was shown on the fly. That is Dr. Habibatu Drame, who is the Director of Students Affairs at the University of the Gambia. Unfortunately, an emergency came up, and as a result, he has to report to the university to answer to the call. So in that regard, we apologize vehemently, but there is no doubt that all the doubts in this room here will be cleared by our able president of the University Students Union.
And let me also apologize on her behalf. She is currently caught up in a meeting where she is having with ambassadors from other countries outside the Gambia. And that engagement is as important as it is in the best interest of the university and the students of the University of the Gambia.
Yeah, I really understand. She definitely wants to come, but unfortunately this thing came up, and I understand. But the reason why I have no doubt, the reason why I did not cry is that I know that all the talking points will be adequately and diligently answered by you. And coming straight to the point again, you have stated so many things which are general. Now trying to contextualize this, trying to customize and trying to put this on straight to the point. University of the Gambia students supposed to play a great role in the development of this society, as even stipulated or stated in the University Act. What are the UTG students doing to improve the socio-economic well-being of this great nation?
That is an elaborated one, and it cannot be underestimated.
Okay.
Of course, the first point of observation is yourself. You are a student of the University of the Gambia, and this work that you are doing, giving a glare of publicity and to the general public out there, coming up with issues and topics that are very much important to our socio-economic advancement as a people, to our socio-economic development as a people, and to also the promulgation of peace and security is as significant as it is the work of a university student. So if you also look at other university students who very well might not have been known in the glare of public, but they are doing significantly very well, whether it is at their workplaces, whether they are running organizations, whether they are running institutions, whether they are running community projects, whether they are running initiatives that are so very critical and significant to the common good of all. So recently you would have known, if you look at most of the people that have been involved in the advocacy for peaceful election, most of the people are university students, whether you are talking about the National Youth Parliament, whether you are talking about the Peace Hub, whether you are talking about activists. All these significant institutions and organizations comprise university students. So that tells you that university students are in the forefront towards ensuring peace and security in this country. Contribution to policy information, contribution to policy initiative programs, and other factors that are as important as they will provide a platform that allows this country to rest on the pedestrian towards the realization of our common good and the objective that we share as a people living in this country.
That's great. Thank you very much for actually acknowledging my work. It is done out of great passion we have for this country, and also we believe that once you are at the university, it should be a center for exploration and innovation. That is why today we are seated here, and there is no doubt that we will contribute our quota towards national development. Mr. President, coming to the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, which have been designed by the United Nations to ensure that there is decency, there is high quality of life in the world. Let me just put it in that way. SDG 16, to be precise, has been designed, that is Sustainable Development Goal 16, that is peace, justice, and strong institutions. This cannot be attained, without the involvement of students who are supposed to serve today and tomorrow. And how is the University of the Gambia trying to pursue these particular SDGs, although other SDGs are very important, but realizing the importance of this show and the connection to the topic, we want to precisely focus on SDG 16. How is UTG doing, or especially the UTG student, to ensure that this SDG is also attained at our own Gambian level through the diligence and the hard work of the university students?
Interestingly, it will amaze you to note that sometime this year, the University of the Gambia Students Union, with other interested students across the University of the Gambia, came up with an initiative that we coined UTG SDG simulation exercise. An exercise that is meant to review the Gambia's performance in each of the SDG goals in tandem with that of the NDP, that is the National Development Plan. So in a view, or in a sense, therefore, we are trying to scrutinize how far as a nation, how far as a people we have gone towards the realization of a particular SDG. And special focus has been cast on the SDG 16, that is about peace and security. And it is as a result of that, some time ago, you must have seen a video that was made by a group of university students talking to people out there on how we embrace peace, on how peaceful election is necessary to the continuation of university education in this country. Because we realize that as students of the University of the Gambia, when this country is stable, when there is peace in this country, when there is harmony, when there is mutual understanding and cooperation amongst the people in this country, then we have a conducive learning environment. Learning and teaching at the university will not be disrupted or it will not be interrupted. But in a situation that is so fragile, that is so, where there is no stability, obviously learning and teaching at the university is going to be affected. And that is why we are on the front side to ensure that we do all that we can, whether it is in the area of advocacy, whether it is in the area of publication, whether it is in the area of community work, whether it is in the area of joint collaboration with other partners and interest groups in the area of the promulgation of peace. We are all encompassing and we are ready to embrace all efforts that are geared towards the sustainable peace realization in this country.
That's great and that is excellent. Still now, focusing on those SDGs, the teaching sector and the learning sector all has to be robust in the pursuit of peace. How is the level of teaching on the subject of peace prominent at the University of the Gambia?
That I can remember Mr. Marlon Jata. I do not know whether he is listening to this program. I did introduction to public administration with him, and one of the major points that he has always emphasized to the pupils was the contribution and recognition of the fact that peace in this country rests on the laurels of students of the University of the Gambia. The manner in which we talk to the illiterate people out there, whether the literate people out there, the manner in which we interact with these people, the manner in which we diagnose ideas with these people, the manner in which we sell the agenda of the agenda of the country to these people, and the manner in which we portray and present ourselves to the public out there really say a lot about our students of the University of the Gambia. And therefore, he's challenged all students of the University of the Gambia that this year, since the political atmosphere is already beclouded with uncertainties, you know, and some adversities, of course, we would have noted this on social media. It is our responsibility to tell our brothers, our sisters, our fathers and mothers, we need to give peace a chance because we want to live in a country where there is peace, in a country that allows us to undertake learning in an environment that is so very peaceful that you don't have to be thinking what is happening outside the university campus while you are in the classroom. You don't have to be thinking what is happening outside the university campus while you are attending a symposium. You don't have to be thinking about what is going to happen outside while you are on your way to the university. So these are integral parts of the entire process in the attainment of peace and security in this country.
You have stated some very important points, which in fact rings a bell in me that you and your council or the executives, university students at large you represent, do you have any plans to organize symposiums or peace conferences before, during, and after elections?
Yes, of course. I can still remember at one time we have had a negotiation with Peace Hub the Gambia, led by Mr. Bakari Songo, who is also my very good friend. And he's come up with this suggestion that we must create a platform that allows university students to be directly involved in the promulgation and the advocacy of peace and security in this country. So we inspire positive action out there. Since when we had that discussion, of course, the union was also involved in a number of activities. But now that you have come up with this issue again, I think that is going to speed up our intention to ensure we are able to do that which is necessary so that we are able to have this fora that is going to allow policy makers, that is going to allow politicians, that is going to allow experts, that is going to allow the ordinary people to interact and dialogue with university students. So we are able to stretch out a map, you know, that is going to take us to a destination that we so desire.
And that is wonderful. That is one point. And also, the political atmosphere, some are describing it as very cloudy, very uncertain, very volatile, very disturbing. And university is a is an institution where all cohorts of, sectors are taught there. I am sure University of the Gambia Students Union should come to the salvation and the emancipation of this country by organizing a kind of a presidential debate for people to help this country to, identify those people who can be the most capable to lead this country. Do you have any plans for that one also?
Very well, very well. I think this too is actually provoking a lot of good fucking things. Number one, it must be recognized that university students must be interested in the political process of this country. And let me be understood in context. For instance, all the presidential aspirants for the upcoming presidential election, whosoever amongst them should have won the election, you will be the chancellor of the University of the Gambia. So that indeed it is important that we have a special interest in the policies that you have for the people of this country. Because one way or the other, whether you mention the University of the Gambia, whether you talk about the University of the Gambia, whether you even capture University of the Gambia as part of your policies, once you have won the election, you will directly have an, effect on the University of the Gambia, whether it is going to be about you responding to the problems that we're facing at the UTG, whether it is going to be you facilitating assistance for students of the University of the Gambia, or it is about you introducing change in the University of the Gambia. Whatever you do in that presidential office will have a direct impact, either positively or negatively, on the University of the Gambia. So university students must be interested in the policy scrutiny and study of each of the candidates and take part in the election, because you are taking part in an election to vote someone who is going to be your chancellor, and you know how significant that is, how you ought to be cautious when you are making that process, how you have to look at a number of factors that are so very essential to conducive teaching and learning at the University of the Gambia.
That is wonderful. Other universities outside are doing it. And I'm sure the University of the Gambia also can do this.
In fact, the UTG Students Union will be very much interested to partner or collaborate with other interest groups that will want to organize a presidential debate for the presidential candidates at the University of the, and we want to ensure we have that this year. So because that's what we see in Oxford University, that's what we see in Harvard University. Presidential candidates will come and they have direct engagement with the university students. So you ask critical questions and let them also respond in a very critical way, so that before they leave that place, you are able to have a clear picture of who has a better policy to guide the country in the direction that we also desire, and that is going to advance higher teaching and learning at the university.
That is wonderful. And I'll provoke you again. Like, if you should organize that presidential debate and you've made your conclusion or assessment on all those people who appear on the show, what information are you going to give to the Gambians then?
Well, basically, we are not there to serve as advocates for any political party. We are not there to serve as the mouthpiece for any political party. What is our responsibility is to invite these people, evaluate and review their policies, look at it from a perspective, and see if this actually is in line with promoting the agenda of the University of the Gambia, especially university education, and individuals have held their different convictions. Then it is left to them to go to the polls and vote for the person that they so wish will have an impact on the advancement of university education in the country, but not for Usman Jassi to go out there to say, university students, I want you to vote for Mr. Jallo, because
yes, the reason why I asked this question is simple. Once you've made your assessments and analysis on different political parties, you owe the people of this country. What do you owe them? You owe them guidance, understand? By giving them information. Okay, we the university students of the Gambia have made this assessment on these 25 presidential candidates, and we have come up with the following recommendations on the following, understand? So that the people can be guided and it can be disseminated on the social media.
So let's be understood in context here. When you say we have come up with the following recommendations,
like, okay, this is this one, and these are the plans that he has for this country. And we, the university students, are sure that when he comes to power, so and so and so will be attained. And you can bring up your theories because university students are known to be prophets of theories.
Yes.
You understand? And like, you know, not to advocate for a particular political party, but although people may not understand in context, but what I am also saying is to contribute to the socio-economic development of this country. Because when we bring somebody who actually do not understand nature and manner in which things evolve, and he or she comes to be a president in this country, as you said, the person will be a chancellor, and he or she's his or her directions, you know, will affect.
So let me reiterate this point very clearly. Illustratively, that is going to be a dangerous undertaking.
Okay.
Because in as much as you want to talk to the Gambian people out there about one of the candidates, of course, indirectly, and those that are very sharply minded will understand in context, you are telling us that you've made your assessment and Mr. X is your favorite candidate, and you are now asking university students to vote for Mr. X. Even though out of good intention and out of goodwill, the idea or the objective must have been to submit his recommendations to the public for scrutiny, for evaluation, and for appreciation, but it will not be understood in that context.
Good. Now I understand that point very well. Now moving to the security and the Independent Electoral Commission and all the major stakeholders in this country, I think the university students of this country, who sooner or later will be the ones in charge of steering or administering this country, supposed to hold these people, host them, to tell them that elections are coming. And histories or the recent trajectories of elections in Africa or West Africa, some of them were very odd. What agendas or what plans do you people have to make sure that the election is peaceful? Make sure that, what plans do you people have to make sure this election is free, fair, and transparent? Because it's like, you know, putting them on those platforms to have a constructive discussions with them for our safety and our well-being.
I think we must be good students of history. And the Conference of Historical Factors in many countries in Africa demonstrated quite often that in times and moments of election, people always ascribe it to be a life over death issue. It's either I win the election or I lose my life in the process. That has idealistically been the understanding of many individuals. And just some few weeks ago, to be specific, I've had a conversation, a very fruitful one, with a security officer. And my question to him was, I only hope and pray that you people will have a security mechanism that will allow elections to be conducted in a peaceful environment that is going to curtail all adversities and uncertainties that have already beclouded the political atmosphere. And he responded very clearly that we are thinking ahead of time. I do not know whether that was said to me for the purpose of enticing or getting me into appreciation of their work, or that was speaking on more realistic terms, but what is clear, or spoken, what is clear is that we hold the view that the security apparatus now must already have a plan that will ensure, even well before elections, you know, that will ensure that peace is not interrupted, peace is not disrupted, people are able to go out to do their political campaign. We have classes, people are able to go out to do their voting and return home. And when elections are announced, there is peace and there is security. The security owe that to us as citizens of this country. They also owe that to the institutions that they are serving. They also owe that to students of the University of the Gambia, because it is fundamental to the peaceful realization of the agenda of this country. And that can only be done in an atmosphere that is peaceful, in an atmosphere that is cordial, in an atmosphere that allows people to express their opinion without being threatened by other people, that allows people to exercise their political rights without being infringed upon by other people, that allows other people to come in unison and harmony and do the things that they so wish without any form of fear that is going to disrupt or interrupt that process.
Thank you very much. The reason why I'm asking you some of these thought-provoking questions are that I was not alive then, but I heard that in the 1970s and 80s, you know, our grandfathers and great-grandfathers used to say that in the coming years, when we have universities and a lot of educated people, perhaps our societies will take a proper sense of direction. So that is why, you know, I expect that a university student should think beyond his time to make sure that his society is put into well structures. But moving from that end now, going to, we have seen universities around the world are championing research and projects. And Gambian University is not an exception. And this is even stipulated in the UTG Act. How fundamental is research at the university level, and how best are the UTG students, you know, doing research for this, in the development of this country?
You know, I've always said, and I repeat ad nauseum, that university education in this country must now go beyond the only teaching, learning, and also production of knowledge. But it must be as well involved in research. Research that is going to inform policies. Research that is going to serve as a guidance for the direction of the country. And University of the Gambia, of course, has been instrumental in this part, but I always believe that there is an avenue to add up or to speed up in the work that we are doing. With respect to the students and the university itself, it will interest you to know that for the year 2021, over $16 million has been allocated by the University Governing Council for interested researchers, whether these are academics, whether these are students, but all within the parameters of the university, to be involved in research and to have that financial assistance as they pursue their research activities. So, and the Students' Union some time ago also sent several dispatches. We are telling university students that if you have a special interest in research, that if you want to be involved in the production of knowledge, that if you want to inform policy through policy-based research, write a research proposal, submit it to the research minister of the 19th Executive Council, who is going to work very closely with the research directorate. And if you need any technical assistance, of course, that technical assistance will be given to you. Then you move from there. And we've always said that, and that still remains. So out there, if university students are listening, we are telling you that if you have any intention of initiating any research work, just what you have to do is to come up with a research proposal, submit it to the Education and Research Minister of the 19th Executive Council, who will then submit it to the Research Directorate, and your proposal will be looked into. If there is a need for adjustment, it will be adjusted. If there is a need for guidance, it will be guided, and all that which is important and necessary, so that indeed you will be given the financial assistance to initiate that particular research work.
So like these researchers, if I understand very well, are they only restricted to this country here, or you can even propose a research and go beyond, you know, Gambia to conduct your research?
Well, as far as I am concerned and as far as I've understood the process, there is no jurisdictional limitation on the gap of the research work that one is expected to do as a student and also as a lecturer or as an interested person in the field of academia at the University of the Gambia.
Thank you very much. We are hearing from Ousmane Jassey, or PLO Lumumba of the Gambia. He actually is the president of the University Students Association. He joined us live online here on Fadu Network on the Peace Talk Show platform to discuss on a very important topic, that is role of university students in ensuring sustainable peace. We've realized that, and we've heard from him that, you know, university students have fundamental roles to play in the improvement and in the advancement of any society. And there is no doubt with what he has stated here, University of the Gambia Students Union are also contributing their quota towards the realization of our national goals. In the meantime, also, we will allow callers to call and contribute on this show, and you are welcome with your ideas on how best we can, as students, to contribute to the socio-economic development of this country, or role of university students in ensuring sustainable peace. So we welcome in your calls, and in the meantime, Mr. President, we continue. Aluta.
Thank you. Thank you. and I think I'm really enjoying this show.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. President,
yeah.
Now we need to understand one thing. people will be expecting me to ask you some of the hiccup that happened at the university not long ago. And as a result, people are expecting you also to say something about that. Mr. President, what are some of the problems that are confronting the university students?
I've answered this question a number of times, a number of problems are confronting and really frustrating teaching and learning at the University of the Gambia. This ranges from access to academic facilities or basic facilities that will provide ease for students of the University of the Gambia. This also relates, whether you are talking about access to internet, of course, when we came into office, we used to have an existential internet connectivity problem. But with the pressure that we mounted on the admin, there were some great steps that have been taken to install internet in all the campuses. But of course, we've also realized a reduction in terms of the speed and the connectivity of this internet at the various campuses across the University of the Gambia. So when it also comes to the area of research, of course, university students, not that we do not have the technical ability, not that we do not have the intelligentsia that is necessary to initiate and undertake research activities, but I think the right coaching and the guidance is an instrumental aspect for this process to be realized. So when it also comes to access to scholarship opportunities and opportunities out there for University of the Gambia students, so at some point it's also limited. University students, except very recently that they have started to be exposed to some of the opportunities, whether it is about scholarship, whether it is about internship opportunities, graduate program schemes, and related programs that are important for students of the University of the Gambia. So all those are some of the things that university students used to face in the past, and some of them, if even up to now, the problems are still persisting. So if you look at the issue of library, of course, some schools don't even have a proper library, but we know that we now have an online electronic library where that is synchronized to the portal of each university student, where you don't have to go to the library physically. You only have to log into a student portal, and then you are able to have access to millions of peer-reviewed journals and academic papers and related works of that nature. So when it also comes to transportation, that problem is a perennial problem in the University of the Gambia. And we've called on many institutions, including the government, to please provide a proper transportation system for students of the University of the Gambia, because it is really frustrating. Take it for instance, someone who undertakes his education or attends his lectures in Faraba, and the person lives in Banjul or the person lives in Serekunda. Think about the frustration that the person is going to experience every day flying from Serekunda to Faraba, especially if there is no proper transportation system. So some of these problems are very much perennial, and we have always called on interested philanthropists and the government in particular to respond to some of these problems, so that our sons, their children, will be undertaking their university education in an environment that is free, that is conducive, that is fair. Because you cannot have your university education in an environment that is not conducive, that is even frustrating, that is even going to affect your academic performance as a student at the University of the Gambia. Sometimes I used to say, when we see some of the individuals that have acquired their education outside this country or other people in other universities, in terms of intellectual capacity, they are not good at university students, especially students of the University of the Gambia. No. A student who undertakes his learning at the University of the Gambia, considering how frustrating the academic environment is, considering the problems that they face, and with all that, they will triumph over all the academic challenges. This is why quite often when they go out for their masters, they are always amongst the best students. And this is clear. This is indisputable. Nobody can dispute that fact.
Yeah. Mr. President, somebody is calling. Hello. Hello. Walaikum salam.
Yes, this is the Fun Network.
Yes, yeah, you're welcome to the Peace Talk Show platform.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
I am so glad about this program,
Thank you very much, sir.
This is one of the key pillar in which can sensitize youth.
Okay.
much especially the university students,
Thank you, sir.
which are termed as the nucleus of the country itself.
Thank you, sir.
In establishing peace.
Thank you.
And you there with my beloved brother, and that which is the current president of the University of the Gambia, that is Mr. Usman Jassi.
Thank you, sir.
I am so glad, and with you as the presenter,
Oh, thank you, sir.
on to enlightening the Gambia and the world in maintaining sustainable peace, where we need to start it from our community.
Thank you, sir.
So I am so delighted, actually. I'm just praying that may the Almighty God at least increase the light of this particular sensitization
Thank
in
you,
the
sir.
hearts and the minds of people.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm so well. This is Mr. Ibrahim Ejara.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jara.
Yeah.
We appreciate your call and God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay. This is the Peace Talk Show, and we also have a WhatsApp channel where we keep on discussing and disseminating issues relating to peace and development of this country. And also the same number you can text, and you will be added onto the WhatsApp group. Mr. President.
Yeah.
Yes, you were speaking and you were saying something. Do we know where you stopped? You said, people who go out, university students,
Yes, yes, yes,
if
yes,
they
yes.
go out to acquire their masters, they always excel
Fine.
or they do excellent.
Very
And,
well.
it means that like the environment is good, the learning environment is good, but it needs to be improved on.
Very
because
well.
it's very difficult. I myself always have my challenges,
Exactly.
Do we even have a boss at the UTG?
We have, we used to have 3 bosses,
Uh-huh.
I think they are both functional, but they are not in that much appreciated condition.
Mr. President, they are not roadworthy there, to be straight to the point.
Definitely.
And how best have you put this to the UTJ administration? Because, learning cannot be effective when there is no proper transportation. And there is no doubt that, University of the Gambia should not compromise with transport, which is a key factor. We have schools in different places, Faraba, Kanifing, Brikama, and the traffic is so, unfortunate here.
That has been a selling point of our advocacy with the university management and the governing council. And we are happy to report that a sum of $3 million was allocated for new buses to be purchased. And already, if the director of university facilities is listening to the program, he would have known. He already started that process. Now we've gone very far. The bidding and the tendering and all those things were done. Contractors were identified. So we are hoping and pray before the commencement of next semester, these buses will come and students will be able to use it, especially students that will be going to Brikama, that will be going to Banjul, and that will be going to Faraba.
That is great. That is great. To be frank, that will be seriously welcome, because at the university we definitely need buses.
Definitely.
And you have stated that so many problems are at the University of the Gambia. Somebody is saying that network is a problem, but he is trying to text, or she is trying to text. Once he or she texts, he said he's going to ask a question. I'm sure the question will be directed to you, and you will
That's
answer.
okay. Yes.
So, how do you call this again? These problems you have stated here, the reason why, in fact, a student union is the student union, the 19th student union executive council is a beacon of hope. The 19th executive council is the representative or representation of the UTG students at the management level. How best are you working to ensure that these things are resolved amicably and as soon as possible, and with diligence as well?
When we came into office...
Sorry, somebody is calling.
Okay.
Yes, good. Okay, somebody is saying, what level is the Gambia Students Association working with other Gambia students in various countries when it comes to research and whatnot? What
level is Gambia Students Association?
Gambia Union. Gambia Students Association. He is trying to say Gambia Students, University of the Gambia Students Union, trying to work with other students associations or Gambia students outside or in abroad to embark on research.
To be candid, I do not think that the Students' Union of the University of the Gambia is...
calls are hot. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon, bro. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Great to host you on the Peace Talk Show.
Exactly. I'm calling all the way from Indonesia.
Indonesia, wow, you're welcome, sir.
I'm listening to your program and I'm a follower of this show.
Thank you.
But today, the guy who is there today is a friend of
that is Usman Jassy,
Okay.
the president of the university.
Okay.
So I want to thank him for his great job that he's doing for the university.
Thank you.
I think he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job for the university. So I am very much pleased to congratulate him and just say to him to just keep on trying and then keep up the hard work that he's doing.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
And we encourage you to keep on following the program. God bless you. Yes, Mr. President.
Yes.
We are taking on the solutions. The solution. The props. It says Gambia Students Union. Understand? Rather, instead of Gambia Students Association. That's the question. And
yes, there's also a Gambian, the Union of Gambian Students, the NOX. So I don't know whether that's what he is referring.
He's referring to University of the Gambia Students Union.
Okay.
And Gambia Students Association.
Outside.
Outside.
Yes, basically, in terms of research, I do not think that realistically the University of the Gambia Students Union is into contact or...
hello, Mr. President. Hello.
Yes, live and direct at the Fatu Network.
You're welcome, sir. You're live online on Fatu Network, Peace Talk Show platform, sir.
Yeah, it is nice to hear people coming out of the media talking about the university, and so thank you for the hard work that you're doing, and also kudos to the president. I am an intern, the newly intern posted at Janyapure.
Thank you, sir.
Oh.
So we are live and direct, and we are listening to the program, and it is amazing.
Thank you. Oh, wow. We wish you all the best on your internship.
Who is that? What's his name?
What's the name again?
Is
The
that
president wants to know your
Sylvester?
name.
Sylvester Gomez.
Okay, I know.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So,
Thank
so,
you.
so let me also use this opportunity to relay that to the public. The University of the Gambia Students Union, of course, in collaboration with the UTG management through the Director of Relations and UNDP, have come up with an internship program scheme. And currently we have about 24 interns that have been trained and that have been deployed to various area councils. And these people is a paid internship, and the whole idea and the objective is to expose these people to opportunities out there, to create an opportunity for these people to share their skills, their experience and their expertise with the other people out there, and to serve their communities, to also serve as a basic platform that allows them to acquire experience, preparing them for their future undertakings. Because if you look at the University of the Gambia, what has really been a moment of amusement is that students will start their program, they will complete their program without having the opportunity to undertake any internship throughout their 4 years. So when these people have graduated and they have now been released into the job market, they start struggling to acquire basic experience that is necessary for them to be able to
And in fact, Mr. President, I was coming to that point. We have a system in the country here that is, how many years experience do you have now? And as a result, I think, university, many of these institutions, university can foster those ones, whereas, internships, voluntary internship or some kind of internship with little remittance can be created. And after the period of the internship, appreciation and certificates can be given to them so that when they go out to pursue or to,
and there should even be a possibility of retention. Okay. So we've rolled out this first one, that is with the UNDP, and that has already succeeded because these people have already started the program. And the second one is with the UNFPA, and we are anticipating that about 60 students will benefit from that. The third project is going to be with the government through the office of the PMO, that is the Personal Management Office. So we are able to come up with a job recruitment scheme or an internship scheme that is going to take university students, absorb them from the university and place them into various offices across the country, across various institutions, government departments and ministries, so that gradually we are able to have about 1,000 university students that will be indirectly or directly serving their country well before the completion of their education. There is a possibility of retention in this case. There is also a high possibility that upon the appreciation of the work of these people, it can open them to other opportunities out there, not not only within the confine of their immediate environment or their working environment. So that is the whole idea, and the target is to have about 1,000 students.
That is
so
great. That
the
is
first project has succeeded. That is about 24. The second one is 60 students, and we hope and pray that will be done in very short
No
time.
wonder Prof. Fane is very busy, and trying to respond to me is a problem always.
Exactly,
You know, he's the one that spearheading it, you know, and he has been always busy. And that is great. We will come to this point.
And right now we're also working on job fair. Prof. Fane has been very much strategic in that he's already drawn the strategy, and we are also looking into that. So
that is great. You know, as I always say, university, and others also have said it, you know, it's not a center for how do you call it, you know, renovation. It's a center for innovation.
Yeah.
And as a result, you know, we are also used to the, you know, this old adage of, you know, not to be job seekers, but to be, you know, job creators. So is UTG also working towards that trend?
That's what we are working towards.
Okay.
That's what we are working towards. We want to be job creators. And that is why we are not only preparing university students only in terms of academics. In fact, with the recent relationship between the UTG Students Union and the UTG Directorate of Relations and with the UTG Career Counseling Wellness Center, what we have tried to do is you know, acquiring your education, undertaking your studies is a basic requirement. Every university student will do that. But it is also our responsibility to prepare you for future undertakings, to shape you by helping you to shape you in such a way that allows you to be able to innovate and invent for yourself, even without being offered an opportunity or a job opportunity out there, but in a situation that allows you to create, inventions and be as much creative as it is required, so you are able to function at your own level with or without the assistance from any other individual. And this is why all these important programs are necessary. Now we also coming up with a mentorship program. This mentorship program is going to allow each and every university student to, during the course of the acquisition or the undertaking of your education at the University of the Gambia, to be exposed on how to network with partners, on how to network with collaborators, on how to share experience and market yourself in such a way that once you stand out there in the public, it is going to be interested individuals that is going to point at you and invite you for an undertaking, instead of you roaming from one place to another or from one office to another, looking for jobs or seeking for opportunities out there. That is the basic idea. We want to go beyond the mere teaching and learning, but we want to be involved in helping to shape the career of our students. We want to be involved in creating opportunities for our students. We want to be involved in creating networks with outside institutions, with outside interested bodies in the field of education and in the field of academia. No wonder very recently you have seen a lot of institutions and interested partners vesting special interest in University of the Gambia. It is as a result of that we have all these internship programs, we have all this career wellness center and all these job fair programs. All those are made for the purpose of attaining that objective. So
thank you very much, and this is great. And I think, you know, I am encouraging you to keep it up, and you know, we keep on going. To be frank enough, one day we will reach to that land where our great grandfathers were prophesizing. When we have universities, perhaps those people will, you know, take this country to the level that we have been dreaming for. And not forgetting the person who asked the question, because people are very good in trying to, you know, listen.
Yes.
Question has been answered.
So in response to his
UTG
question,
Student Union.
yes, I wanted to reiterate that very specifically, the University of the Gambia Students Union is not into close contact with any association in the area of research. Perhaps if he is a university student that is also studying outside in a different university, we will want him to reach out to the student union, and we see how we foster that. We've always said that we are very much open to fostering networks, you know, collaborations and partnership, you know, with interested individuals in the area of academics, in the area of education.
That is great. The one who just ask that question. You are at liberty. You can reach out to the student union, or you can reach out to me, and I will reach out to them. Or you can also go to their website, www.utg.com, and you can have access to
our Facebook page.
Or our Facebook page. You will have their contacts, and you communicate to them. This country, we have to partner. We have to collaborate collectively to make sure that our issues are addressed. So anybody with any idea that you want to partner with the University of the Gambia Students Union, you are at liberty to communicate to them, and they are ready to partner with anybody. Mr. President, time is going, and it's almost after some minutes after 12, and we are supposed to go to the Friday prayers. Okay. But Mr. President, you're sitting here today. University students are expecting to hear something from you. Today, in this country, you are a great person, serving as the head of the tertiary institution, which is the beacon of hope in this country. It's not actually an easy task. When you speak, you're supposed to speak wisdom. When you speak, you're supposed to allay fears. When you speak, you're supposed to come with something which are going to provide solutions to some of the issues disturbing the university students and even the society at large. So what statement do you have for the university students regarding the coming election? And from there, we will go beyond. And what statement do you have for the society on the coming election? What elections are about and what elections should be?
So for students of the University of the Gambia, the UTG as the citadel of learning, the beacon of hope of this country and this generation. Be involved in the political process. Of course, not as contestants if you so wish, but as electorates, and if you also want to be contestants. Take your time very carefully. Look at the manifesto and the policy documents of each of the presidential candidates. Study it very well, scrutinize it very well, review it very well, so you are able to make a properly informed decision that is going to be of benefit to students of the University of the Gambia, to yourself on the day when you are going to finally decide on which candidate in whose box that you are going to vote. And as significant as it is, every presidential candidate, as it stands now, must be of interest to every university student, because we do not know who is going to win the next election. And whether we like it or not, whosoever wins the next election is going to be the chancellor of the University of the Gambia. The work that he will do in State House, the work that he will do in this country, the policies that he is going to implement for the people of this country are going to have either direct or indirect impact on teaching and learning at the University of the Gambia. So in this 2021 election, remember, you are participating in an election that is going to give chance for your chancellor to be put into office. So it's a work for yourself, it's a process for yourself. You want to vote in your own chancellor. Don't see it beyond voting for a mere president. You are also voting for your chancellor. So it's an opportunity for you. Vote for the chancellor that you want.
Thank you very much. I think that is a very powerful statement and also very rational for that matter. Mr. President, you must have a statement for the society. They look up to you as a beacon of hope. And as a result, when you speak, as I said, wisdom, fluctuate or diffuse in the atmosphere. And what statement do you have for the people of this country? What elections are about and what elections should be and how we must approach the 2021 election?
We have gone very far as a people in this country, starting from the 1960s, during the time of British colonial rule. As a people, our great-grandfathers came together with the special recognition that we must pursue the liberation of ourselves, that we must give ourselves an opportunity where we are going to be directly involved in the administration of our affairs. And we have identified a number of problems that we said were injustices, that we said were restrictions on the limitation of our rights and the pursuit of our individual liberties. We've succeeded in that. Now we've come so very far that we have the latitude to put in governments at our own will and out of our own volition. Another presidential election is coming. As a people, The point of consideration is that let us not vote on the basis of any social consideration. Let us vote on the basis of considerations that are so very critical to the common and the collective advancement of all, to create a country that allows you and I to realize our dreams, to create a country that allows each and every citizen in this country to realize his or her dream and to realize his or her potential, to create a country that is going to reinforce the administration of governance in this country with proper and vibrant institutions that are going to innovate, that are going to invent for the common good of all. Other countries are moving. The Gambia must join the race. At this very critical time, we cannot accept and allow ourselves to lag behind for considerations that are not worthy and that are not for the mutual benefit of all individuals in the society. I have no doubt in my mind that come December, people in this country will march to the polls peacefully. They will cast their votes peacefully, and peace will reign, because that's what we have been known for. And that is why we are called the smiling coast of Africa. We are not being given that description for the mere fact of the appreciation of its nomenclature, but that's what we represent out there. That is what we do, and that's what makes us so special to other people and to other countries out there. Let us not, for any reason, lose that sight of appreciation. And it is my sustained conviction that we are going to retain it, we are going to sustain it. Come December, we will vote peacefully, peace will reign in this country, and we will have the president and the chancellor that we so desire and that you and I want.
Wow, I feel like crying, but tears gonna come out. Mr. President, you've given a very powerful statement, and to be frank enough, owe you gratitude. And this is highest and greatest degree of wisdom that has been shared here today. And dear followers and dear viewers, this is the Peace Talk Show that is brought to you every Friday. And as I said, we have Usman Jassey here, who is the president of the University Students Association. We apologize that the other guest who's supposed to be here, also who should have been here with us, that is our able Students Affairs Director, that is Dr. Habibatu Drame, has not come due to an emergency issue that came out from the university, so she has to go and join them. But there is no doubt this 1 hour that we have exhausted is like 30 minutes to President Jassey, because he is somebody who is eloquent, and he is somebody who always speaks something that is productive. And there is no doubt that he has stated so many important and very essential issues here, which today and for the rest of our lives can learn great moral lesson. And in that regard, Mr. President, if you do not have any other statement to make, I would like to make a concluding remark, and we say bye-bye. Do you have any concluding remark?
You have to make that. I just have to express appreciation for being invited to share my perspective and my opinion on the current status quo of the University of the Gambia and ongoing issues within and outside this country. It's highly appreciated, and keep up the good work. You are the beacon of hope, giving the oxygen of publicity to the public out there, and keep it up. And that is great, and we are proud of you as students of the University of the Gambia, particularly myself, because I want to see students of the University of the Gambia out there and doing very well. And you are such a type. Keep it up. We are proud of you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We all heard from our great president, that is the president of the University Students Union. He is joining us today here to discuss on the role of university students in ensuring sustainable peace. He have discussed on so many important points that the university students are doing in the promotion and in the advancement of the socio-economic development of this country. He has also stated some of the issues or the projects that the university students are embarking on, internships and opportunities there for the university students, the problems of the university students, and also how best the 19th Executive Council is working to ensure that these issues are well realized. And also he has a very powerful statement for the university students and to the entire Gambian society on the approaching election, 2021 election, and the other elections coming. So we thank Mr. President for coming here. We do not regret your presence. We owe you a bunch of gratitudes, and we are saying thank you. And we are saying thank you to our followers for actually being with us throughout, and also those who called also. We're saying thank you for your calls and your contributions. We are saying great thanks to our Fatu Network for hosting us on this important platform, and our able technicians who are behind the cameras, making sure that this program goes as expected. We are saying thank you to all, and we're saying thank you and see you next week. God bless you. Your host, Justice.